Hi Kinders, welcome to my kitchen and thanks for joining me to make some tacos. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm actually not going to be following the recipe from the book. I'm going to make tacos just like my family likes to eat them. So it's going to be a little bit different, okay? So we're going to start off by doing step one. And step one is to gather all your ingredients. So I'm going to show you all the things that I put in my tacos when I cook for my family. Okay, so first thing we need is obviously tortillas. My family loves to have tortillas, but we are going to show you a special kind of taco that my husband loves, and it's a double-decker taco. So we have the shell tacos as well. So we have the crispy tacos, and we also have the tortillas. We also use refried beans in our taco recipe. And my husband actually doesn't like chicken in his tacos. He likes ground beef. So we have 1 pound of ground beef here, ready to be browned and cooked. And we use taco seasoning. This one's with less sodium, so we like to use less salt in our taco seasoning. And Miss Concepcion really likes to have fresh vegetables in her tacos. So we have some lettuce, and we also have onions that we're going to chop up for a little bit of crispiness. We have some shredded cheese, some sour cream, and of course some salsa. I did not buy any fresh tomatoes to make fresh salsa, but you can do that. This is kind of my easy way of making salsa, just buying it in a jar, but you can definitely make your own with some tomatoes and onions and cilantro, a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Okay, so, and then I also got all the things I need to cook with, like my pans, and also my knife, and my cutting board and measuring cups, okay, measuring spoons. So those are all the things that I need for this recipe, and it's all laid out on my counter right now. So that's step number one. Then we're going to move on to step two, which is getting the ingredients ready by chopping it and putting them in bowls, okay? Because the fun thing about tacos is that you get to build your own, the way that you like it. You don't have to make it exactly like your mom's or exactly like your dad's. You can make it however you like. So we like to keep all of our ingredients in separate bowls so we can pick and choose what we like, okay? So get ready for step two. All right, kindergartners, so we did step one, getting all of our ingredients and all of our materials, and now we're gonna do step two, which is prepping and cutting all of the ingredients. I'm gonna start off with some lettuce, and Miss Concepcion's gonna grab like maybe 2 or 3 leaves, because I'm only cooking for me and my husband. Butters cannot eat tacos. He is only allowed to eat dog food, so this is mostly for us. And Miss Concepcion likes to cut her lettuce into nice thin strips so they fit nicely in our taco. And Miss Concepcion also did wash these before and let them dry. So make sure that you wash your vegetables before chopping them and eating it to make sure they're nice and clean. But once they're in nice little strips or ribbons of lettuce, just like this, I'm gonna put it in its lettuce bowl. Okay, and I'm gonna take off the end. Awesome. And I'm gonna do the same with the onion. So again, I'm gonna put this in my lettuce bowl. I'll put in the green one since it's green, just like so. And now we have the onion. And you know what? Miss Concepcion does not need that much onion. Her husband actually does not like onion very much. So she's only gonna have a little bit. It's because this is just for me. So I'm just gonna cut a piece off. Make sure that you don't eat this part, which is the skin. We're gonna throw that away. And we're just gonna make them into little squares, which is called dicing. So first I start off by making lines across this way, and then I'm gonna chop the opposite way. And that's gonna make nice little bites of onion. And again, ask your mommies and daddies for help with this. And onions can sometimes make you feel like crying, so be very careful, okay? They have a very strong smell that makes you kind of tear up. Okay, so so that's actually all the stuff I need to cut for my recipe. The next thing you're going to see me do is to get the meat ready and to cook it. So that will be our step 3. Okay, so we have our onions and we have our lettuce all ready and chopped. Ready for step 3? All right, now we're on to step 3. Okay, step 3 is prepping the meat. So to prep the meat, we have to use the stove. So I'm going to turn on the stove. Remember, if you're doing this at home, you should do it with an adult. And then I put a little bit of oil on the pan just so that the meat does not stick onto the pan. And we're going to let it get a little bit hot. For the taco meat that I'm making, it's ground beef, and we will need 3/4 cup of water, which is Concepcion measured out with a measuring cup. And then we also need 4 tablespoons of the taco seasoning. So I also put that in a bowl. So it's easy for me to put it on the meat. Okay, and I use my tablespoon to measure out 4 of them. I have to have 4 tablespoons. So when the pan is nice and hot, Miss Concepcion is actually going to get a spoon, and she's going to drop her ground meat on top of the hot pan, and it's going to get really nice and brown. When the meat gets nice and brown, we should take about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. She's going to add the water and the seasoning into the pan together, and then she's going to mix it. Okay? Your mommies and daddy can also drain the fat that comes out of the meat, but my meat's a little bit lean today, so I'm not going to do that. But that's something that you guys can also do. Okay? So it feels like the pan is pretty hot now, so I'm going to put in my meat. And remember, this is 1 pound of ground beef. And I'm just going to press it down into the pan so it's nice and even. Okay? And we're just going to let this brown for about 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to show you guys later what it looks like when it's nice and brown and I put the water and the seasoning in. Okay? Alright, boys and girls, so this is what the meat looks like when it's starting to brown. You can see that there's still a little bit of pink left in there, so you want to keep stirring this around and breaking up the big chunks until all the brown is gone. Okay? So just want to mix it, make sure all that pink goes away. And once you see that your meat is pretty much all brown, just kind of where my meat is right now, this is when you're going to be adding your water and your seasoning, okay? So, again, if you don't want your meat to be super oily or fatty, you can always drain all of this out, but Miss Concepcion and her husband don't mind it, so we're just going to leave it in there, okay? So it looks like all the pink pieces are gone, so we're now going to add the water and the seasoning, okay? So again, it's 3/4 cup of water, just like that. And we're going to sprinkle in the seasoning. Starting to smell good in here. And now we're just going to mix it up so that all the meat gets covered by the sauce and the seasoning, okay? And we're going to let this simmer for a few more minutes, okay? And then I'll show you the finished product for the meat. And then that would be the end of our step 3. Then we can move on to step 4. All right, boys and girls, so our meat is nice and hot, and it's cooking on the stove. As you can see, it's nice and brown. All the seasoning is in there, and it's just staying nice and warm on the stove. I'm just going to keep it on low so it stays hot. But now we're going to go on to step 4. And step 4 is getting the other things that need to be heated up to the temperature it needs to be. So Miss Concepcion is going to be heating up some beans. She used a can opener to open it up, and she's going to put it into a bowl. And she's just going to microwave it in her microwave. If I had more time and if I wanted to be really fancy, I would have put it on the stove and stirred it up. But for tonight, I just felt like making it a little bit faster, so I'm going to put it in a bowl, cover it up, and then microwave it for a few minutes until it's nice and hot. Another thing that Miss Concepcion is going to do is she's going to toast her taco shells. If you follow me over here, you'll see that I have my microwave and my oven over here with my taco shells ready. Okay, so I'm going to preheat my oven to bake at 350 degrees. And it's getting hot now. And Miss Concepcion is actually going to put her taco shells on a tray. So she covered it with foam. She's going to put her taco shells on the tray so we get nice and crispy and hot. And I'm going to put them in there for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how crispy I want them. Okay? So we're going to do that right now. And I'm going to pop my beans in the microwave. Okay? And then we'll see how they turn out in just a few minutes. So that's step 4. Heat up the rest of your ingredients. Alright, so another thing you need to heat up is your tortillas. And the way I like to heat these up is putting it on a hot pan on the stove. So this pan has been heating up. And I'm just going to put it on there and make sure that it's getting heated. And then when it's hot on one side, I'm going to flip it and then get the other side warm too. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it there to get warm so everything's getting heated up. We have our tortillas on the stove. We have our beans in the microwave. We have our taco shells in the oven. So everything's on its way and almost ready to get eaten. All right, boys and girls, now it's time for step 5, my favorite part, and this is putting together the taco. So we have all of our ingredients heated up. We have our meat cooked. We have our onions and lettuce cut. We have our beans heated up. We have our cheese, our salsa and sour cream ready to go. Of course, Miss Concepcion has to have something spicy. She loves spicy food, so she has her Valentinas. And, of course, our tortilla and our hard taco shell. And remember, this isn't a traditional taco. Miss Concepcion is actually going to show you how she makes a double-decker taco. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's see. Let's see if I can get you guys in. So you can watch me put all the steps. All right, so this is how you put together the double-decker taco, okay? So first you start off with the tortilla, and you're gonna put some beans on your tortilla, okay? Just a nice thin layer of the beans. It's gonna be kind of like the glue that sticks the shell to the tortilla. And my husband actually gave me this recipe. This is his favorite way to eat a taco. Okay, so once you have a nice thin layer of beans on your tortilla, you are going to put your shell right in the middle, and you're gonna close it up, and they're gonna stick together. Just like so. You see that? So it has a soft shell on the outside, a layer of beans, and then the shell. And then now you get to fill up your shell with whatever you want. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with some meat. So I'm gonna fill it up with some meat. You don't wanna put too much because you don't want your taco to break open, right? But you wanna make sure that it's nice and filling. Awesome. All right, so Miss Concepcion has her meat in there. Just like so. Right? I'm just going to put a little bit of onion, a little pinch of onion. She's going to put, actually I like to put my salsa next. So she's going to put a little bit of salsa. And then she's going to put some lettuce for a nice little bit of crunch and freshness. Just like so. Oh, let's put that one back. And a little bit of sour cream. I wish we had crema, but we actually couldn't find it at the store. So the sour cream is fine. Okay, just a little bit of sour cream. And of course, some cheese. We're gonna sprinkle that on. Cheese is yummy. And don't forget my hot sauce. Okay, and there is my taco. That is how Miss Concepcion and her husband love to eat their tacos. Just like that. Okay? All right, boys and girls. So now we are almost on our last step. So Miss Concepcion just put her tacos together. And now it's my favorite part because step 6 is to eat the taco. Let's try it, see if it's good. Mmm, that is delicious. 2 thumbs up for a taco. So, remember, this was only 5 steps. 1, get your ingredients. 2, prepare your ingredients by chopping it up. 3, cook your meat. 4, heat everything up that you need to heat up, like your beans and your tortilla and your shells. 5, put your taco together. And 6, eat and enjoy. I hope you guys like this recipe. Oh, and there is one more step that's super important. Step 7, and that is to clean up. So whenever you're cooking, you should always help with the cleanup afterwards, because that's the nice thing to do. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our cooking tutorial. I hope to see your videos up and to see something cool that you want to make and share with the class. Okay, so take care. Till then, enjoy your tacos. Miss you guys. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen. Bye.